Hey guys, welcome back to the Ikkō Ikki Very Hard campaign. This is part 4, and we're still under siege by the forces of, I want to say, Pasai. In the last episode we successfully defended our eastern frontier, and this time we will be defending our western frontier, in fact our capital. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this battle started. And yes, I am a little bit nervous. My enemy completely outnumbers me, and they have better quality units in form of samurai. We only have 2 Ronin, who I'm not even sure if they're fully healed up. We're about to find out. In the last episode, of course, we also lost our vassal as we had to pull back our army, since we can only sustain 2 at a time, and they're operating on both fronts simultaneously. So this is a very hard campaign. I'm not going to lie, the Ikkō Ikki campaign is very hard. If I fail, that's fine. I mean, at least I can start up a new campaign in Shogun 2. I think the next one I was interested in was Atomo, as they start off with gunpowder units. So if I can't hack it, I can't hack it, but we're certainly not going to give up. We're going to die with our monk Naginata, thrusted through the enemy here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do what I always do and kind of send out all of my units middle, so that we can better rearrange them once we see what the troop formations are. Of course, it doesn't really matter very much, since we just have an absolute abundance of sword units. So what we're going to do instead is kind of just set up all of our lone sword already up on the wall. If we need to move them, that's fine. We more than likely will. But they're practically worthless. I mean, they're like 90 or 80 upkeep a turn, and I can make 2 of them per turn, so I can pump them out like a factory. I think I'll be okay by and by. That's pretty much the only angle that they're going to attack us from. So we're going to have 2 on standby here in the middle, or I guess this would be a better location for them. And we're also going to have our Bow Ronin once again ready to take over a wall. And we have our better units over here ready to reinforce, and we've got a meat grinder unit, which is the Yashigaru. This will be used for cannon fodder practically, as well as the samurai retainers. So I'm gonna put you guys up here, I'm gonna put you guys up here. See, Yari Ashigaru are not very good, but they're very, very good, I find, at absorbing arrows. And I use them to absorb arrows too, so that's nice. As always, the enemy has decided to split up his deployment. We've got a few Ashigaru over here. We've got no range over here, so that's nice. We've got no range over here. So the south and southeast both do not have range units, which is really, really good. As does the southwest. The only range comes in the form of the west and I believe the northeast. So to kind of prepare for that, we're going to be moving or that's a really hard word for me to say, and I'm a native English speaker. Our units. There we go, that wasn't too bad. So let's move back our units, and where are we going to put them? We're going to put them over here to the northeast. Or sorry, we're going to move them back over here. Keep them accessible, basically, while we simultaneously maneuver our Ronin to take their place, and both of our Ronin units will take their place. Very good. And basically now we wait. I mean, this is going to be a battle of attrition, no doubt about that. But I'm thankful that we've got all of our units on every side. Of course, I could probably put these elite units over here to reinforce these men, since I don't believe there actually is ranged units over here, so we're not going to put our best units there. Instead, we are going to put our garrison units over here. Garrisons are so great because you can just burn them without fear of actually wasting any of your units. So I abuse them, honestly. I mean, I put way too much credence in the fact that they are basically cannon fodder, like the rest of my Ashigaru troops, so I'm not afraid to destroy them as such. Right, so we've got a very massive contingent of Bow Ashigaru units over here in the west. Of course, our Ronin units are much better, but we have much fewer units as a result of us being Ikko Ikki. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be having a contingent of Yari Ashigaru ready, if necessary, to reinforce these walls. And instead of playing in slow motion, we can go ahead and speed things up. The bad thing about Ronin is that they lack the ability to use flaming arrows. I always find that to be pretty annoying, considering Samurai can do that, and Ronin are effective replacement for the Samurai, so you'd figure that they'd be able to do that too, but apparently they can't, and that's it's really bad news. Right, so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be moving some of our units around. First, we're going to be attacking the Katana Samurai a little bit more. Maybe we can rout them before they even get up here. That would be ideal. We're going to check out over here on our other fronts. We seem to be doing fine. No worries as of yet. But pretty soon I will be pulling back our bow units, like right around now actually. As we have units about to climb up the wall, it's a very good time to move them. And I really mean move all of them. So we're going to be calling them back and sending our meat grinder up to the front. These will take the brute of the arrows and everything else that we don't want our more experienced troops to handle. Of course, we can also put our samurai retainers up here as well. And this is pretty good. I mean, we're in a very good position. We got our sword Ashigaru over here doing pretty well. And we got some more actually to reinforce, so we'll keep those on standby. Where will they be needed most? Probably over here, where there are more units. However, that being said, our lone sword Ashigaru should make quick work of their Yari Ashigaru, as always. And we're going to speed up time a little bit once again. Our general is in a pretty vulnerable spot. We're going to be calling him back a little bit. And our bow Ronin are in a bad location as well. We need to be moving them. And putting them on this wall over here. Both of them. And we're going to slow down speed a little bit again. Just see what we are doing here. Of course, now we have Yari Ashigaru climbing up the wall. It's time to send in our reserve troops, which we will do so right away. How are we doing over here on these fronts? Doing swimmingly, in fact. We might as well use our ability to scare the crap out of people with our war cry, but we cannot use it just yet, so we will have to hold off on that, and that's fine. For some reason, we have these men heading in kind of the wrong way, but that's okay. Perhaps they'll actually get along the wall pretty soon. That'd be nice, so we don't lose any more men. We have a large contingent of Yari Ashigaru about ready to climb over the wall, but our Yari Ashigaru should be able to reinforce in time. The Katana Samurai are in combat. We really need to reinforce the Yari Ashigaru garrison, which cannot really hold its own in a sword fight, unsurprisingly. So what we're going to do is we're going to inspire the unit. I think that... Did that inspire them? I don't think so, not yet anyways. And we can also use War Cry in about 17 seconds. And we will. So that being said, we can move our warrior monks back up here to the fray. They've already been quite useful, actually. And we are doing a really good job at routing these units over here as well. I'm almost tempted to send my bowmen over here to rout these bowmen and then work on the others. I think, in fact, that's what I'm going to be doing. Let's put you men over here, along with you men. As soon as we're ready to use you, we will. So our Ronin are going back over there, that's good. I'm going to be sending both of these melee units perhaps out to sally up with the bowman. Actually, no, that's a really bad idea. What am I doing? I'm not going to do that. But my general is taking damage, so we need to move him out of the way. And what is this guy doing? He's going outside the gates. We don't want that at all. But we want to attack, rather, the Yari Ashigaru that are climbing up the wall. And also the Katana Samurai who are also making their way up the wall. Gonna rally our men for good measure. And this is pretty scary considering the enemy Yari Ashigaru have been basically able to get up the wall unmolested. We will use this opportunity to send in our Yari Ronin. And why is everybody going outside the gate? This is not supposed to happen like that. That's just annoying, really. We're going to send you out that way. That's good. And what are we going to do with you? We are going to send you where we need you, which is over here, along this wall. And why aren't you doing anything? I'm going to have you do that. That's good. And we are about to have bow units actually along the wall for one of the first times over here on the eastern front, which will be good. And just like that, we were able to rout a samurai unit of katanas, which is really, really good. And let's go ahead and go back to normal vision. We don't really need, or sorry, normal speed. We don't really need it to be slow-mo anymore. It's a bit ridiculous. And right now we're just going to route out these particular units so that we can send our units back in the fight. Just like that, we were able to route the Yari. That's really good. And now we're going to focus on routing these units over here. And there's a lot of them. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to send out our melee units. Slow speed once again. Starting with the expendable ones. Notably the Samurai Retainers and the Garrison Monks, which will be the first to die. But they won't die in vain, that's the important thing. Let's see how our Ronin are doing down here. They're doing very well, unsurprisingly. And who are our most healthy units that are ready to fight? These units right here. We're going to have them ready, because basically we're going to march on the Bow Ashigaru. That'll be effective. Or what I could usually do to minimize casualties is actually pull our men back past the wall so they have to run up the wall where they'll get slaughtered. Really, I'm not sure what strategy would be the best at this point. I think probably that strategy would be better. I'm going to go ahead and set up a perimeter of sorts over here. Getting everybody ready for what's about to happen. Of course, we have routing Bow Ashigaru units. And I think I'm actually just going to send my general out over there. Put him to some use. We have our Samurai Retainers marching out for no reason. They're going to die. I mean, if I was really trying to save lives, I wouldn't have done that. But you know what? I don't really care. This will buy us some time. Time in which we will use to pull back our melee units. So that they will go up the wall foolishly. Not you. I want you to die. That's fine. You're already pretty much dedicated to it anyways. And I don't really know what this unit is doing. We're going to keep them ready to attack just in case, basically. And they've routed, so that's really good. Now we're going to set up these units so that they don't attack my own general. And basically charge them down like the animals they are. Perhaps we can even get these Bow Ashigaru down here as they are regrouping. What's going on up here? They're still attacking us. I guess they can still reach us. Pulling back even further. Let's see what that does. Also, let's take a look at our general, who is charging down these units. They're both relatively low. But surely there is a lower one. No. Yes, there is. The Yari Ashigaru over there. We'll take care of them. Although they're starting to run back over towards their general, so we might just want to clean up shop and head back to prepare for this eventuality. Right, so the enemy general is heading that way. What we're going to do is we're going to set up our Bow Ronin to kind of take pot shots at their enemy general. I mean, this will be very useful for a number of reasons, which will be fairly obvious. Right, so let's go ahead and unpause the game. I believe now that we've done that, the bow units will start to climb the walls, hopefully, with any luck. And their general is about to be kited. Quite effectively, I might add. We're going to set up a location for him to regroup up with the rest of our army. And do we have men already climbing up the walls? We're about to, so that's good news. We're going to meet them on the wall as soon as they start climbing, which is now. Great. Just like that, my plan is starting to work. And what are we doing over here? We got our ranged units almost at the wall. What are you doing and why are you waiting? Go over to the wall and be ready to attack if you can. Yeah, it's not surprising. The samurai retainer was destroyed. Really, really not surprising whatsoever. Now, do we have these units about ready to climb up the wall? If so, we are about to charge them. And we're going to have these guys attack the general unit, assuming we can. And send our own general back into the castle. Right, so they are sending their units up the walls. It's time to charge with more of our units. I'm taking the healthy units for now, so we do not lose any units in transition to the campaign map. Send them forward, along with the garrison units that we still have available. Of course, that would help. And I'm going to have these units ready to attack as necessary. Very, very good. Alright, let's take a look at what's going on over here at the action. They're climbing the wall, they're almost up. Not too surprisingly. And there are some Ashigar units ready to attack us, also quite unsurprisingly. But now that our general is up here, we are safe, for the most part. We're going to be keeping our bow units up here on the walls, just so we can attack these bow Ashigar units you see here. And we're also going to be moving our men forward, as we are losing control of the gate, which is inherently bad. All of you need to get on the gates. Go quickly. And make me proud. So we got our first unit, the Warrior Monk Garrison, which we'll put into good use here just momentarily. And what is the general doing? Nothing at the moment, unsurprisingly. Let's go ahead and speed things up a little bit. So we're making short work of the units that have decided to get up our gates. Putting them out of their misery is probably a better term at this point. We are really wrecking shop on them. For good measure, we will use War Cry to scare them a bit more. Where are you? You're in a bad position. You need to be attacking him. And so are you. You're in a bad position. You need to be attacking him. Alright, so just like that. That is how you win a battle that was very easy. And we are going to send out our general to mop up, as we always do. Free cavalry, right? Not too bad. Pretty soon we'll actually have a economy that we can use. I can't really wait for this moment. That'll be really nice. Because you really need cavalry in Total War. It's definitely recommended. Anyways. And let's go and chase down the dogs. We've killed our general too. Super, super good. We might be able to kind of bid for peace if we need to, or we can push the advantage if we have to. Look at all of these units that are just getting picked apart. We are like vultures. And that should be the end. Of course, we're going to finish off the rest given as we need those promotions for our general's bodyguard. That should be basically everybody, with the exception of, who are we missing? We were missing like one unit, it's okay. Constant victory, I'll take it. I think we did pretty well. I mean, the entire goal of defending a castle is to survive, and we did. Quite effectively, I might add. And it'll be important for me to upgrade the temple, because it'll give me more units, and it will also give me better monk units as well. So the only unit that we lost was our retainer. Honestly, not too bad. They've been reduced quite substantially, and they will suffer from winter attrition in my territory. Let's see, Echu is got some mounting tension over here. Let's take a look at what's going on over here. Satome has absolutely no army over here to the east. If I wanted to, I could probably move forward and take it. It's really a good question of whether or not I want to do that yet, considering that would open me to attack to Takeda pretty quickly. And I'm not sure if I'm willing to risk that at this point. So we're going to move our men back into the castle. And we'll still have this unit explore a little bit. Right, so we've completely destroyed the invasion force. Now we can just chop them down, why not? Very easy, decisive victory. And we got to rank up again. Very, very good. This time we will... This is our daimyo. I'd also like to make him intimidating as well, so we're going to be working on that right now. We'll make him inspirational. Good, good, good. So, that being said, we have a monk over here, and we can set a revolt. And it failed again. Oh, that's just so frustrating. But now he's leveled up, so we are going to... We'll give him some zeal to convert provinces. I think this province is already almost eco. No, not quite yet. And we will also make you better at inciting unrest. Because you suck. And you're fired. I'm not sure if I should be moving my men closer to Wakasa. It's kind of a gamble at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to hire another monk. Can't have too many of these things, I swear. And kind of pretend like we could attack Wakasa next turn, I guess. Anyways. Let's work on, next, let's work on what will be the best bang for our buck here. Let's go with strategy of attack. It's going to just kind of fill out those entry-level masteries. And I think we're ready to end our turn. Of course, it's unfortunate that our unrest, our like inciting unrest never works. It's just a pain in the ass, honestly. And Omi now has all of its men back in its base, ready to regroup, I'm sure. And we got a Matsuke accosting one of my agents. But I think we were able to kill its agent, so that's good. Let's take a look at what happens. Very, very nice. We were able to execute them. Very good. Let's see if we can convert this unit here. No, we failed. That's fine. But we were able to level up, which is good. We're going to be basically specializing in inciting revolts with all of our monks. Not just that monk. And we got a monk over here that will scout ahead for us in Wakasa. Wakasa is, of course, defenseless. So we will use this moment of weakness to attack them and reinstate our just vassal of Sakai. Of course, now we have to deal with a full army. That's shitty. But it is what it is. We were able to get a Yari running out of it. It's not too bad. Right, so we have a pretty balanced army, I'd say, as far as armies are concerned. And I think the next episode will have to be this next battle, as we are running short on time. But the good news is that Asai is out of my territory for the time being. I believe that Hattori are at war with them. Perhaps we can come up with some sort of alliance in the future. Takeda's getting huge. Really scary, actually. And Hitakayama is able to trade with us. Let's see if they will take trade. They won't. No, I was trying to say Takayama, not the other clan. Okay, so the Takayama will trade with us, but they will not be military allies. It's fine. Let's see if you'll take that if I give you unlimited military access. You won't. Alright, so we're just going to go trade. Good for both of us. And Satomi as well are my most recent vassal, I should say, Sakai. We will also trade with. And that brings us back up to 594, so it's better than nothing, I guess. And our general is actually really good in this army. He's getting better and better. Of course, our daimyo honor is also increasing. And we're basically just going to level up our monk over here by continuously demoralizing the army. Maybe this will allow Hattori to kind of sweep in and finish them off. We got a temple in every single one of our cities. Let's see what that's doing to neighboring provinces. It's doing pretty well. It's converting them slowly but surely. And I gotta make sure I keep an eye on all my monks. We got 3 now, which is really, really good. Right, so let's go ahead and see if Satomi will accept peace. Or not Satomi, sorry. Let's see if Sakai or who else is at war with us? Yamana. They're probably not going to want to accept peace. Not yet. What about the Asai? They'll accept peace. Interesting. Let's see if they will accept peace in turn for money. Okay, he doesn't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do peace with a trade agreement, which will give us money anyways. So we've pieced out with Asai in the southern front. That's good. Now we can focus a bit more on the western front and taking out Yamana. Let's go ahead and end our turn real quick. We really need to work on our economy, though. That's what really scares me the most. We have 2 relatively large armies and no means to support them. So more than likely, the Hattori will take out the Asai tribe, since they've just left their city undefended. And we just lost control of one of our units, unfortunately. It's really shitty, but it is what it is. So I guess, honestly, at this point, we might be able to attack Satomi. They don't have really much of an army. Might be worth it, actually. It would take us 3 turns to get to Ashigo. Is that worth it? I couldn't really tell you. Ashigo is just a fort, unfortunately. So maybe I'll wait at the stronghold of Etchu. And let's take a look at what Yamana is doing up here, the northwest. Let's see if we can't convert the Shogunate. We can't. Okay, that's fine. We could probably incite a revolt, or perhaps not. We could kind of maneuver around a little bit, I guess. Going this way to Kyoto. Maybe demoralizing the Hattori. You might ask me why I'm doing this. Well, the weaker the Hattori are, the better. Considering I want my enemies to be weak, and the Hattori is a potential enemy in the future. Keep our eyes on them. For the time being, it'll be necessary for us to be within the walls of our vassal Sakai. But I'm honestly convinced that we can march on Echigo with Little to no problems. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 melee units now. But the only problem is that Ichigo has got a problem with its public order. That's going to be a problem. So I'll keep my guy on the border. We do not want to research Way of the Sea. That's completely useless for us. Let's go with... You know, honestly, I would normally laugh about tea ceremony, but the 10 plus, the plus 10 to diplomatic relations might be necessary for us since we have a different religion. Ooh, enabling fire arrows is really good. We'll definitely be doing that at some point, as well as heaven and earth, which is also super, super good. So we're going to do Todofuken first. And I think that pretty much concludes our turn. As you guys can see, we're making quite a bit more money now. It's really good. I'll be able to upgrade this temple next turn. Or, I guess more usefully, I can upgrade the fort into a stronghold. Because fighting on that rectangle map is just the worst thing in the world, let's be honest. So the Atori's going to make a move on Omi. The Atori have conquered Omi. And unsurprisingly, they've fallen to the Atori, who are more than likely going to be our next enemy. We'll keep our eye on them. Alright, so let's take a look at the diplomatic situation of Atori. They're pretty big, and they're already unfriendly with us. They will accept trade. How much will they give us, though? They'll give us 142, pretty respectable. Okay, you know, I try to give them a military alliance. Sometimes they'll accept it, sometimes they won't. Takayama, will you ally me? More than likely you won't. We can always try. No? Okay. Well, you would think that, you know, we'd be friendly at this point because we're trading. But alas, we are not. Most unfortunately. We're going to be moving our monk to the west. And just like that, Yamana army lies outside of Tango. We're going to do a character conversion if we can. Conversion failed as normal. That unit doesn't have a particularly large amount of experience, unfortunately. And it beats me why I can't see my own vassals' units in their army. That's really strange. But enough of that. We're going to be moving on to sending more of our monks over here to the northwest. Very, very good. And the moment of truth awaits us. Instead of making a temple, we're going to be working on a stronghold, which is definitely more useful, if you ask me. We'll also simultaneously, well, we could move on, but we take, you know what, we're going to go back to Etchu to defend. The next time they send a wave at us and we beat them, we will beat them back. So that's good. I want to thank you guys for watching this particular episode, and stay tuned for in the future where we will more than likely wipe out the Yamada clan. And hopefully kind of go northeast as well into Ichigo. We'll see. See you guys in the next episode, and thank you for watching.